Hello there. Let's get started. Cat and cow. Come to a seated position on your shins, hips on your heels, hands on your thighs. On your inhale, press the chest forward. Exhale, round the spine. Do a few in your own pace, really rounding the back here. Each inhale, your heart comes forward, and each exhale, really round the back, hinging forward. Let's just do one more together. Full exhale, belly pulls in tight. Spine twist. Inhale to lift, and exhale to turn, look back over the shoulder. Other side. Shoulder rolls. Bring your shoulders by your ears and press them back and away. 2 more in this direction. Really over-exaggerating, shoulders by the ears. And other direction. Inhale, lift, and exhale, roll forward. Let's do one more together. 3 breaths. Inhale, arms reach overhead, and exhale, hands through heart center. On your next inhale, think about lifting through the heart, eyes looking up, and exhale back to center. On this last one, make it a little bitty mini back bend. Wrist warm-up. Press your palms on the floor and your legs move back into tabletop. Start pedaling out your hands, moving your fingertips open away from each other and then back towards you and around all the way to the front. Now move your shoulders over your wrists in a circular motion. One more time each side. Flip your palm. Press the back of the hand down into the floor. Bend the elbow a lot. Slightly rock forward and back. And when you're ready, switch palms. Pressing the back of the hand down. Feet warm up. Extend one leg back into plank and rock forward and back, articulating through the ankle and through the toes. When you're ready, circles. Rolling the ankle in one direction and the other. Switch legs. Extend the opposite leg back, press through the heel, and then roll forward over the toes. Circle the ankle out. Make sure you go both directions. Patter out the top of your feet, cat-cow in tabletop. Inhale, lift the chest, around the spine, as you exhale to push the floor away. Inhale, grip the ground, heart comes up, and exhale, press down with the tops of the shins and the feet. One more breath here, and one more exhale. Donkey kick, 8 of them. Bring your left forearm to the ground at a 45-degree angle. Come up to your right palm. Inhale, the right leg lifts, and exhale, lower. Bend at the knee at a 90-degree angle. Squeeze the right glute at the top. You can point your toes. Belly is tight. Do a few on your own, and when you're ready, this is a hip tilt. We'll do 8. Tilt open your thigh and lower back to center. You're just pivoting on the hip, rolling the femur in the hip socket. Your chest and torso can go with you, squeezing the outer glute at the top. Leg raises. Lift and lower from here, activating gluteus minimus. 4 more. 3, 2, into leg extensions. Extend through the leg and then tap elbow to knee. Each exhale, belly pulls in tight, contract through the obliques, try to get elbow to actually touch the knee. Each inhale, the leg extends back behind you, squeezing and engaging the glute, pointing through the toe. Hold it at the top and small pulses. Now level out your hips and small pulses again, squeezing a different angle of your glute. Child's pose. Separate your knees to the edges of the mat. Reach forward with your fingertips and press your heart in between the thighs. Feel your chest stretch, opening up through the armpits. Rock side to side, massaging in your hips. And on your inhale, come up to donkey kicks on the other side. Bring your right elbow down, forearm to the floor. Left palm down into the ground in front of the chest. Left leg lifts. Your knee is bent at a right angle, squeezing the glute at the top. Exhale to press and inhale to lower. Lengthen through the spine and keep your belly active. Hip tilt. Tip up your knee at a 45-degree angle and lower back down. We're articulating the femur in the hip socket. Just a few more on your own. And when you're ready, leg extension. Extend through the toe, point here, and exhale, knee taps elbow. Inhale to extend, squeeze the glute. Exhale, knee taps the elbow, activating your obliques. When you're ready, you can hold it at the top and do tiny pulses, squeezing gluteus minimus. Now turn your hip parallel to the floor, small pulses at the top. When you're ready, come back to a child's pose. Knees go wide, hips to heels, fingertips a little bit further forward this time. Modified push-up. Inhale, bring the hips forward in line with the shoulders and knees, and exhale, come back into your child's pose. Coming forward and back. On your next one, let's hold hips forward and bend the elbows for a micro push-up. Teeny tiny and small at first. Just 4 of them, and then bring your hips back into child's pose. On your inhale, come forward, and we do 4 pulses again. After your 4, find child's pose. Inhale, come forward, and again. Small pulses, and maybe you go a little bit lower, shoulders in line with the elbows. Nice job. Downward dog to plank. Curl your toes under, press your hips towards the sky and pedal out your feet. Bend right knee, bend the other, and turn the shoulders here. Really over-exaggerate all the motion. This might be your first downward dog of the day. Bend your knees a lot and inhale to a high plank position. Shoulders over the wrist, crown of the head grows long. Each exhale, bend your knees and bring your hips back. Each inhale, press forward into plank position. Inhale, your left leg to the sky. Squeeze the left glute. Roll out the ankle. On your exhale, touch knee to nose. Inhale, toe up. 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Do 2 more. And on your last one, keep your knee to your nose and small pulses for 3, 2, and 1. Switch legs. Inhale, your right leg lifts. Roll out the ankle, maybe wiggle your toes. And on your exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Inhale to lift, and exhale knee to nose. 2 more. And on your last one, hold the crunch and small pulses for 3, 2, and 1 release. From your downward dog position, inhale to a high plank. On your exhale, find a downward dog and touch your right hand to your left foot. Then switch, left hand to right foot. Then switch. Going forward and back, you're feeling weight in only one arm here in the overhead position. We're preparing you for single arm kettlebell overhead press. Do a few more on your own. And when you're ready, low lunge. Step your left foot forward in between the hands. Rock your hips side to side. Really massage here. And then make sure that your ankle is directly under your knee. So maybe walk your toes a little bit more forward to stack ankle under knee. Lower the right knee down to the ground and inhale, arms reach overhead. Small pulses here. Activate the belly, lengthen the lower spine, nice and gentle. Hold. Press both hands down into the mat. Drape your knee open to the side and look up and over the shoulder. Release the twist and come back to a downward facing dog, pedaling out the heels. Making our way into the other side for our low lunge. Step your right foot forward in between the hands. Massage your hips, maybe make circles. And when you're ready, walk your toes a little bit more forward so that your ankle is under your knee. Lower your left knee down to the ground and inhale, arms reach. Small pulses here. Your belly is active, nice and gentle. On your next exhale, press both hands into the mat. Drape your knee open to the side. Enter into a twist, looking up and over the shoulder. Pry the thigh open, and when you're ready, make your way into a downward facing dog. Working our way into squat, from downward facing dog, walk your hands back towards your feet, teeny tiny steps. When you're all the way back towards your feet, bend your knees a lot, sink your hips down, and settle into a squat. Press the palms together, pry the thighs open with your elbows, lift the chest, try to keep a flat back. You may like to rock side to side here. A little bit more movement in the hips if you need it. Reverse lunge. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. Your head comes up last. Inhale, the arms reach at the top, and exhale through heart center. Shake it out. Allow your blood to equalize, and make your way into the middle of your mat. Step the right foot forward, left leg is back. Bend both knees, lower your left knee down in line with the hips, and keep your torso locked. Lengthen through the lower spine and pull up from the lower belly. Switch legs. Bend your knees a lot, scoop through the belly, keep the pelvis tilted, lower spine long. Switch again. Small pulses. Switch, small pulses. If you feel good with this, then alternate reverse lunge, stepping right leg back, then left leg back, single dip in between. Just a few more. And last one. Turn to face the side of the mat, jump jacks. 16 of them. Hop your feet apart and hop your feet together. Elbows go wide. Your modification is this toe tap. If you can, do the full jack. Squat. Turn your toes out, sink your hips low, 2 pulses, and exhale to stand at the top. Feet grip the ground, inner arches lift. Chest is also lifted. It's your booty that sinks back and away. Do a few more on your own. On your next exhale, stand tall, shake it out, and get a sip of water. Floor to rack. Using a dumbbell or a kettlebell, place the weight in between your feet. Grab the bell with your left hand, bring it to the chest center, and all the way back down to the floor. You can press your right elbow into your thigh at the bottom to help you keep a flat back. Your belly is tight as you bow. Your quads tight as you stand. Do a few more on your own. Holding the bell in a rack position, exhale to press overhead. Your elbow is pulling forward on the way up and forward on the way down. Can you do 4 more? Exhale to press and exhale to lower. On your next one, press overhead and hold. Tailbone lengthens, belly is active, feet grip. Slow and steady breaths here. Overhead reverse lunge. Step the opposite leg back and come forward. Your overhead position is locked out, so your elbow is straight, the shoulder is contracted, stabilizing the weight overhead. You may feel a little bit of wobble, but you're building in stability strength. Your inner thighs squeeze to keep you balanced as you step forward and back. Lower your knee down to the ground, kneeling press. From the kneeling position, press overhead. Now you don't have the assistance of your legs or your feet, so we're really isolating just the upper body. Do a few more on your own just like this. Plank drag. Place the weight or the bell down in between your feet. Bring your hands forward of the weight. Step your feet back. You should be in a tabletop position. And then drag the bell from the right to the left. Your right hand brings it to the right side, left hand brings it to the left side. Option to do this in a full plank. Plank to downward dog. Bend your knees, sit back into a child's pose. Curl the toes under and press your hips back, knees lift off the floor. On your inhale, find plank position, and exhale, sink the hips back. This downward dog is with super bent knees. Your focus is more on the chest. Do a couple more. And plank toe tap. Holding plank position, tap your right foot to the right side, left foot to the left side. Keep the hips level and low. Plank drag. This is our second set of our plank drag here in the plank position. Your feet are far apart. Right hand drags the weight to the right side and left hand drags it to the left side. It's under the chest. Your hands are in front of the weight. When you're ready, child's pose. Knees wide, hips to heels. Take a full breath here. Roll up to a seated position, and then find a squat at the back of the mat. Your elbows go wide, pressing into the inner thighs, prying your knees open. Ragdoll. Full forward, roll your spine up 1 vertebrae at a time, and take a big breath at the top. Walk over to your weight. You're at the front of the mat. Weight between the feet. Right hand on the weight. Floor to rack. From the ground to the center of the chest. Each time you bow, your belly is tight. Each time you stand, squeeze the quads. Press. From your standing position, press the bell overhead and back to center. Elbows go forward as if you're standing with your shoulder against a wall. Resist letting the shoulder and the elbow open wide. Press one more time and hold it overhead. Keep the belly scooped, lower spine long. Grip with your toes. Overhead reverse lunge. Step your opposite leg back. Bend the knees and step forward. Keep the bell locked out overhead. You may feel wobble with the shoulder, but you're building in stabilizer strength. Use your inner thighs to keep you balanced as you step back and step forward. Do one more. Kneeling press. Lower the knee down to the ground, and from this position, press. 8 of them. Without the assistance of your legs, we're isolating the upper body. You have a couple more on your own. Plank drag. Place the dumbbell down on the mat. Your hands go in front of it. Step both feet back. Here it is, our second set of plank drag. Drive through the heels. Keep the legs active and the hips low and stable. The right hand brings the weight to the right side of the mat. Left hand brings it to the left side of the mat. Hip thrust. Move the weight off the side of the mat and hop both feet outside the hands. Hop them back into plank. Do 6 more like this. Last one. Hop feet forward, swing hop. Reach your fingertips back and exhale to hop up to the sky. Your arms help add momentum. Press through the toes. Nice job. Water break. Get a sip of water, and we'll make our way into using a kettlebell. You have the option of just sticking with your dumbbell. Using a lightweight or a heavyweight is up to you for this part. Bell tap, 8 of them. Come to a kettlebell position, your forearms on your thighs. Bring the weight to the front of the mat. Using your left hand, tap the bell behind your feet and bring it back in front of the mat. You're maintaining a kettlebell position while your right elbow presses against the right thigh. Your hips are low, your chest is lifted, and your belly is active. Do a few more. Floor to rack. The weight goes behind the feet into the rack position. Your modification is to catch it in the opposite hand. But if you know rack, then your elbow stays low and your thumb to your chest. Each time you stand, accelerate at the top so the bell travels up the midline of the body. From your rack position, press. Just like before, your elbow travels forward on the way up and forward on the way down. Exhale to press. You can utilize 2 hands, and your head looks through the arms like looking through a window. Exhale to lower. The elbows press against the rib cage to compress the air out. Bending through the knees, adding a little bit of a push press to help. On your next press, overhead and hold. Just like before, your pelvis is tilted so your belly is tight and your lower spine is long. Bring it into rack position, scoop it with both hands, and step your opposite leg back, reverse lunge. This is our second set of holding the weight. You have the option of holding the kettlebell or your dumbbell in an overhead position like before. Do a few more on your own. When you're ready, come to a kneeling position. Your knee will gently lower down to the ground and place the weight down in between your legs. Both hands are on the bell or the weight. Turn your back leg at a 45-degree angle, hike through the groin, And exhale, the bell is going to lift for like a quarter swing. Your left toes grip the ground, trying to anchor your foot and stabilize the hip. Do a few more like this. The bell skims over the mat. Almost done. Keep going. And nice job. Reverse tabletop. Bring your weight to the middle of your mat and step your feet outside. Your hands are back behind your hips and lift your hips into reverse tabletop. Fingertips pointing towards your toes. Countering the shoulder rotation. Just a few more. Rainbow tap. Keep your hips on the ground and step both feet over to the side of the bell and step them back to the other side. One foot and then the other. Harder, you're going to bring both feet at the same time up and over and both feet back to the other side. Keep the chest open here. If you want it harder, then individually one leg goes over and over, back to the other side. Feet hover off the floor. Just a few more. Last two. And cat-cow. Place your hands on your thighs. Inhale to lift the chest and exhale to round the spine. 2 more breaths. Seated press. We'll do 8. Palm the bell in 2 hands. Insert your thumbs through the horns and grip the whole ball. As you exhale, press over the head. Your head looks through the arms, stacking the weight over the shoulders. A few more here. Let's do 1 more. Hip thrust. Move the bell forward off the front edge of the mat. Walk your feet back into a plank position. Hop both feet outside the hands and hop both feet back into plank. 4 more. 2 more. Last one, swing hop. Extend the arms back behind you. Exhale to hop at the top. Two more. Really get high. Bell tap. 8 of them. We're switching sides. When you're ready, come into a kettlebell stance. Arms to thighs. And then using your right hand, the bell is going to be forward in front of your toes. Tap the bell behind your feet and back forward at the front of the mat. You're driving down through your left forearm, pressing into the left thigh. Belly is braced. You're sitting nice and low. Can you do a few more? Floor to rack. The weight starts between your feet. Find rack position at the top. Option to catch it in your opposite hand. You have to accelerate through the hips, activating the glutes, driving the hips forward to bring enough momentum so that the bell travels up the midline of your body. Do 1 more. Now press. Overhead position and back into rack. Your rack position is always on an exhale. Option to use 2 hands. 2-handed press, just like when we were down on the mat. Each exhale, you're back into rack. The weight of the bell compresses the air out of your ribs. Each inhale is at the top position before you go back to rack. Do 1 more and reverse lunge. Step the opposite leg back. Now you can hold it here, cradled in both arms, or option for a more advanced variation to hold it overhead. Go at your own pace. Kneeling swing. In your kneeling stance, your back foot turns at a 45-degree angle, both hands on the bell, swing through the groin, and exhale to come up. The power is from the hips, even in this stance, so grip the floor tightly with your right toes. This is a great drill to get used to keeping the bell close to your groin while you swing. Your hands and your wrists are right against your inner thighs. Do a few more. Plank drag. The bell lowers in the middle of the mat. Move it off to the left side to start. Place your hand in front of the bell, both palms down, step back into plank position. Your right hand drags the bell to the right side of the mat. Left hand to the left side, always under the chest, so your hands are in front. Your hips are going to shift side to side as you bear the weight. Drive back from the heels, activate the quads by pulling in your kneecaps, and try to keep your hips level and stable. Brace with the core. Do a few more. Last 2. And 1. Reverse plank. Step your feet outside of the bell. Your hands behind your back. Fingertips point forward towards your toes. Exhale, lift the hips, and inhale to lower. Exhale to lift, and inhale to lower. You counter the shoulder rotation. Open up the chest. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Tricep dip. Lift the hips and hold. Bend the elbows, small pulses. Go at your own pace, and when you're ready, take a seat. Rainbow tap, second side. Just like before, both feet start on one side of the bell. Lift one leg over, then the other, and go back. This is your modified variation. Your feet rest on the floor. Harder, both feet together, feet lift and hover up and over. Advanced variation, single leg, feet hover, one and then the other. Lift the chest. Press with your hands behind you. Can you do 3 more? 2 and 1. Nice job. Cat-cow. Hands under your thighs. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, round the spine. 2 more breaths on your own. Hip thrust, 4 of them. Cross your ankles and roll forward. Your hands are going to be in front of the bell. Find your plank position. On your exhale, hop both feet outside the hands and both feet back into plank. 3 more. 2 and 1. Swing. 30 swings in total. Option for alternate hand exchange. Both hands can start at the bell. Hike the bell through the groin and exhale, stand tall. As you hinge, flat back, tight belly. Hinge deeper and you can get the bell higher. Your alternate hand exchange, switch at the top of the swing. Just like a kneeling swing, keep the bell close to the inner thighs. Swing here at your own pace. Can you do 6 more? Nice job. Overhead reverse lunge. Rack the bell with the left hand, press overhead, and step back with your right leg. Your overhead position is going to be really wobbly, so squeeze your inner thighs and try to make your step as smooth as possible. Keep the elbow locked, your bicep next to your ear. Let's do 2 more. Nice job. Swing, 20 of them this time. Option for 2-handed swing or moving on to the alternate hand exchange. Your swing may look a little different. Your goal is to keep the bell close to the chest, so the bell travels up the midline of the body rather than forward and away from you. To do this, keep it close to the groin at the bottom of the swing, and keep your chest open and broad, shoulders pinned back behind you. After your 20 swings, we transition into the other side. Right hand press overhead hold, left leg step back reverse lunge. Both sides are not equal, so one will be less stable than the other. Move slowly and smoothly, inner thighs activate, belly stays tight. Do 3 more. On your last one, swing again. 20. This is your last set of swings, so try the alternate hand exchange if you haven't done it yet. Shoulders stay back, your lats are engaged, your chest is broad, you hinge at the hips with a tight belly. You're almost there. Keep swinging. Water break. Nice job. Move the bell forward at the front of the mat. Take a comfortable seat and get some water. Your heart is probably pounding, so now let's try to cool down. After your water, make your way into thoracic circles. The bell is off the mat, out of your way. You're in a comfortable seated position, your hands on your thighs. Roll your chest forward on an inhale and exhale, round back, making circles in one direction. And when you're ready, you can change directions. Nice and slow, deepening the breath. Side stretch. Extend your right leg out. Keep your left heel against your groin. Star Rider's very interested in this part. Inhale, left arm up and overhead. Inhale, right arm up and overhead. On your next inhale on the left side, press your right arm against the inner thigh. Look under your left armpit up to the sky. Hamstring stretch. Level your hips out so that you're facing your right leg. Small pulses. Toes flex back. Hang out in your forward fold as long as you need to. And when you're ready, activate the core, roll your spine up, and step your right foot outside your left knee. Spine twist. Right hand behind the back, left hand to the sky. Elbow to thigh, exhale to twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Side stretch on the other side. Release your twist, extend your left leg, bring your right heel to your groin. Inhale, the right arm reaches. Inhale, the left arm reaches. Right side. Left side. And last time on the right. Bring your left elbow against your inner thigh, look up under your right armpit. Big twist, side body stretch and hold. When you're ready, release to a hamstring stretch. Level your hips out so that you're facing forward towards your left leg. Flex your left toes back and start with small pulses. Hang out in your forward fold as much as you feel you need. When you're ready, spine twist. Step your left foot outside the right thigh. Sit bones level and flat. Left hand behind the back, right hand lifts, exhale, twist. Inhale, get taller. Exhale, look back. Release and lay down on your back. Place both hands on the top of your kneecaps. Keep your knees together and make small circles in one direction, massaging your lower spine, releasing tension from swings. Circles in the other direction. Separate your knees, external circles, and internal. Spine twist. Drape your knees over to the left. Eyes look right. Your hand is on top of your thigh. Your breath slow and steady. When you are ready, switch sides. When you're ready, come up into a seated position. Thank you for joining today. This was a hard lesson and you did a great job. Always know you're doing your best and getting stronger each day. Star Rider also did a really good job. She's such a good girl. Kiss, 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 kiss. Bye. See you next time.